Yeah, what's going on, my peeps? Word to the Culture Channel, your boy Part T here. Got some hip-hop news for you today. We're gonna talk about Jay-Z and a reunion, him and Jaz O reuniting. He signed Jaz O to a deal with Roc Nation, and it's just beautiful to see these brothers get back together. I mean, most of you know their history, so we're gonna get into that. Also gonna get into damedash, and he's gonna be a mentor on a new, I guess, one of those music talent shows. It's gonna be a mentor on there. This is a BET show. It's gonna be called The Next Big Thing. So we'll get into both of those. But first I wanna start off with Jay-Z and the man Jaz O. Now most of y'all know that Jay-Z was discovered by Jaz O and started under him back in the early 90s. Even once the Rockefeller thing kind of was coming to fruition, Jay-Z wanted to get Jaz O in on the ground floor, and Jaz O kind of passed on but he basically passed on that opportunity. And over the years, there's just been so much animosity and turmoil between the two. I guess more so publicly from Jaz O towards Jay-Z. I guess feeling like he turned his back on him, and I guess he didn't come back for him once they really made it big, even though he had a chance in the beginning to kind of get on the ground floor, and he didn't jump on that bandwagon. He decided not to for whatever reason. So now these two finally getting back together. I mean, I guess this started last year. I guess they hadn't talked in years, and finally last year kind of had a little bit of a reunion. Now news just comes out this week that Jaz O is signing to Roc Nation. It's a distribution deal. It's just beautiful to see. I mean, because like I said, the history between these two. If you know the history between these two, Jaz O basically gave Jay-Z, I guess, his first break within the music and the hip hop industry. And then from there, Jay-Z goes on to get with Kareem Biggs Burks and damedash to form Rockefeller, who signs to Def Jam. And then the rest is history, as we see. And Jay-Z's kind of like the godfather of hip hop now. I mean, he really is. I mean, what he's doing, giving back to the younger generation of not just blacks in general, but also the community and just hip hop. He's giving back. For years, Jay-Z's been criticized for so many things, but the work he's been doing these last 10 years, is what, probably say last 5-10 years, he's going above and beyond. He's giving back, which is what he should be doing. He's made a lot of money in this industry. He's got to the pinnacle, basically. He's definitely at the top. Me personally, I know a lot of people look at Drake as, the number one guy in hip hop now, but I'll never put him above Jay-Z. I'm not even the hugest Jay-Z fan, but I can't put Drake above Jay-Z, especially when it comes to lyrically. I'm not going to rehash that whole thing about not writing your own lyrics, but I'm from the old school. If you don't write your lyrics, somebody else writing your bars. I mean, shit, enough said. All right, now from Jay-Z and Jaz O reuniting, which again is a beautiful thing, we're going to move into another former business partner of Jay-Z, damedash, who, along with, like I said, Kareem Burks and Jay-Z, damedash, they started Rockefeller Records. And I mean, they did so much within a really short time frame, from 97, 98, really from around, let's say 97 up until probably 03, 04, 05, somewhere in there. And then you had the big breakup, the big split, and they went their separate ways. Some blame Jay-Z, some blame Leor Cohen, who's a former executive with Def Jam. There's always been reports of Leor Cohen kind of coming in between the two, between Jay-Z and damedash. And so, yeah, you had to split. Jay-Z, we know, what's going on to do some really good things within hip hop and even a little bit outside of hip hop. And damedash, who is, damedash is damedash. He definitely is. So now he's going to be a part of BET's new music competition series called The Next Big Thing. He's going to be a mentor on this show, along with Tina Davis and Zaytoven. Before hearing about this, not too familiar with Zaytoven, but sure gonna learn a lot more about Zaytoven in the weeks and months to come, especially once the show gets going. And this is gonna be, of course, this show is gonna be hosted by Charlamagne the God, but we're here to talk about Damedash right now. So Damedash is gonna be a mentor on this show, and I honestly think a lot of people Damedash is one of those people, you either love him or you hate him. I don't really think it's much of a middle ground because he's very outspoken. He does things his own way, and he doesn't really care what you or anyone thinks of him or says about the decisions that he makes. Now, sometimes I think he can, I guess, contradict himself a little bit, like all of us. We all do that at sometimes, I think. Now, there's an interview. I'm gonna put a link in the description here from YourWeb. That's eurweb.com. And Damedash is doing an interview talking about the show a little bit and how he basically wants to deprogram his community, talking about black people, get black people out of that slave mentality. And then, I'm listening to the interview, and then, I think back to not that long ago, a few months ago, where he put up a post. I guess it was in April this year. So three months ago, maybe. Yeah, about 3 months ago, where he put up a post. It's a white guy on the left, a black guy on the right. White guy has an American flag shirt on and a Confederate flag hat on backwards. Baseball cap. Both guys have their back to the shot, to the picture where you can see him. And the black guy, he has locks in his head. Both guys got tattoos on their arms. Black guy has a Malcolm X shirt, Malcolm X on the back of his shirt, and a gun behind his back. And the white guy has it's like a shotgun in his left hand and a hunting buck knife on his right hip. And it says the only thing the establishment truly fears is basically us coming together, which in certain ways I kind of agree with that. And then in parentheses it says, there's a quote, "I got your back, brother," which it'd be beautiful if it was like that, it'd be beautiful. But I can't get down with the Confederate flag. Anyone that is still trying to uphold that and stand for that, well then, you know what that flag stood for when it was waving proud and freely, especially throughout the South. You know what that stood for. You know what that represents. I can't fuck with you. I'm sorry, I just can't. So I bring that up to say, you got Damedash talking about reprogramming us as black people, trying to reprogram us to get out of that slave mentality that we have, or that's been basically instilled in us from birth pretty much, and the way the establishment is in this country and the system in this country. But then, just a few months ago, I mean, there was he got a lot of backlash for posting this picture here with the white guy with the Confederate flag on and the American flag, and then the black brother with the Malcolm X shirt on. I don't think Malcolm X would have. I don't even think Malcolm X would like this. Okay, I just don't think he would. I don't think he would agree with this. I just don't. I just don't see that happening. Now, I'm all for us coming together as people, because I really do think that I agree with that statement in a sense. That's what the government truly fears, is all of us, coming together as one. Politicians as well. If there's no animosity, if let's just say Republicans, Democrats, if we're all getting along, we all want the same person in office, then there's no need for campaigns and all these other things that go on. And how do they make money? Because it's always going to come back to that. It's always going to come back to the money. You learn that in journalism school or broadcasting. Follow the money. Definitely journalism. Follow the money. Trying to figure something out. Follow the money. Who's funding whatever's going on? Well, that's usually going to be your answer. So Yeah, so I mean, just getting back to Damedash being a host on this show. So I'm gonna leave a link to that article, and there's a short, about a 7-minute clip of him during this interview with the griot, on the griot, and he's talking about the show and talking about reprogramming black people to get us out of that slave mentality, as he says. But then a few months ago, he's posting this, calling for everybody to come together. Bringing the I don't know. So, like I said, sometimes I think he contradicts himself. And like I said, he did get a lot of backlash over this. And I believe he actually took the tweet down eventually. I don't think it was up very long, maybe a couple days. Took it down, got a lot of backlash. People weren't happy about that because we know what that flag means. Okay, we're not like stupid. And get what he's saying about coming together against the establishment, but at the same time, people that are wearing that, okay, we know where their mindset usually is. Okay, we know that by now. So it's not a secret. That cat's been out of the bag for a very long time, and it's not going back in anytime soon. All right, so that's the news for today. It's your boy Party. Work to the culture. I'm gonna get at you. Oh yes, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, or even a thumbs down if you didn't. And also let us know in the comments as well. And don't forget to share us with a friend, family member, or hey, even a stranger on the street will do. I'll catch you in the next video.